Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Gardener. It is the end of January, a very wet December and January we have had. So I thought we would go for a garden tour, and I'm going to have Rob and Trinity behind the camera today. We have had 2 days of sunshine, so it's been quite amazing and very exciting. So yesterday we spent most of the day in the front garden sorting out much needed mowing and a little bit of weeding. So things are looking good. Here I have my naartjie tree that I grew during COVID from a seed from a naartjie that we had from Woolworths. So hopefully one day it will give us naartjies. Not yet, but it's looking quite healthy. Earlier on in the season it was being attacked, and I did spray it with a concoction from Ludwig's roses. Here my miniature rose bushes also been battling a little bit, so I have trimmed them back and hopefully they will bush out and bounce back. This is going to go as soon as this flush is finished. These leeks are about ready to be used in a nice soup, but it's a bit warm for that now. My crab apple tree, which Ronwin from Ronnie's Green Patch gifted me, is loving its life, looking super healthy, and has put on an extreme amount of growth this year, so I'm very happy with that. And the strawberries have just taken off in this last 2 weeks. I harvested a couple yesterday, and there are a whole bunch of new berries growing here. You can see new growth happening. Need to get them before the birds do, so that's going to be a nice stack. Sally-Ann rose. I have 2 of these, and I have really battled with them the last few seasons. This season we have had a bit more flowering than we have had in the past, but still not quite doing what I thought it would do. So this is the pathway where you would have seen on previous videos that Rob sowed some seeds. His did not grow, sadly. I don't know if they were drowned, but the zinnias have grown in nicely there. That's really beautiful. Here we have a new addition to the garden. Oh, look here, it has a cute little spider. It's finding a home. This is a lemon tree which my children bought me for Christmas and birthday present. Always loved having a lemon tree. We used to have one when we first moved into this house in the back garden, but it was attacked by ants. So looking forward to seeing this produce us some lovely lemons. The pollinators are out today, lovely. Just like we are. Just ignore that pile over there. It will frustrate Robert to no end, I'm sure. But anyway, it is life. Azalea here has just started flowering. It's a miniature one, so it keeps small little flowers, and it's looking gorgeous. I have also yesterday just threw on some acidic compost because they like a little bit more acidic soil. This area is looking full and gorgeous. All the pollinators out and about. I believe I have a wild tobacco plant growing by the fence there. Not sure if we're going to be keeping that. Here is my fig tree. I did bag the figs. I took a bunch off yesterday. I will pop that little pot in. They do seem to have ripened more than they did without the bags on. However, they split open. I'm not sure if that was because we have had so much rain recently, and that caused them to split before they actually fully ripened. So again, we are still troubleshooting and hoping for ripe figs by the end of the season, but I'm still loving this tree. So a little bit of feedback on the bagged figs. They have definitely ripened. They have even popped open, so that's a good thing. But they have grown in size in the bags. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the black bag has drawn the sun directly to the fig and helped to ripen them. But they do seem to have fattened up, and they've gotten ripe since I've put these bags on. And I'm sure, even though they're split open, that I'll be able to pick them. I love how full this bed has become. It looks a bit chaotic, but that's pretty much how I enjoy my gardens. The salvia is just blooming all the time. Even when the actual flowers fall off, it still is attractive because it's still got its color, so it's still always attractive, and it's just bushed out beautifully. You may see one or two pops of yellow in there. That is water-wise poppy that has grown in there. Here we have a grouping of dahlias. Noticed this one yesterday. So after last season, I did rearrange some of the tubers. Wasn't quite sure we had put all the different types, so that's a pretty one, but it's been stood on, so we need to do something there. This is a camellia bush. It flowers mainly in winter, but we get beautiful bright pink flowers on there. And here is my little miniature rose bush here. Starts off quite a nice darker pastel pink and then fades to a white. A whole bunch of pollinators that have really enjoyed the rain. My lamb's ear here, and at the back here my hollyhocks are finally putting on a bit of size. I really thought that they would be a bit bigger by now and doing something more, but anyway, we don't mind. We shall get hollyhocks soon. Here is my iceberg rose. So both the camellia we planted in memory of Rob's dad after he passed on, and the iceberg rose is planted in memory of my dad. Here we have the small petunias, which grows beautifully like a little carpet of purple. Really have enjoyed that. And my rosemary bush, which I've been picking on to make rosemary tea for all those wonderful health benefits, anti-inflammatory, boosting the immune system and all those kinds of things. Growing very nicely here, looking lovely and healthy. Here is another salvia at the back. It's just a very delicate pink. And then next door, this is also a little rose. I'm not sure what its name is, but it's not looking so good there. But when it does grow, it's also a very lovely pale pink and then fades to this white, and it just blooms in these big spurts like that. So it's really quite nice. There's two of those there. And there we have some more dahlias. Looking good. These, I don't know, don't seem to have liked as much rain as we've had because they're looking a bit spindly. But my angelonia at the back here is looking lovely. And the Inca lily. So the zinnia that you can see here are self-seeded from last season. They have just popped up all over the place, wherever they wanted to. And right up to the back here, I planted some sage. So here you can see, and that has just popped up in the last couple of weeks with this lovely pop of yellow here. That's quite a nice structure, different to the other dahlias that we've got in the garden. Down here we have to notice the autumn joy sedum, which when I planted here was in full sun, and that was the reason why I planted it. There's one in the back over there as well. So I think with the zinnias shading it out, it's taken a little bit longer to get to this point, but these should burst open and will be a lovely pop of pink, which will mirror this Indian hawthorn, which also gets lovely pink flowers on. The flush is more in the winter spring season. These little berries on it as well, so there's always some form of interest on this bush. Rob and I bought that on one of our dates we went on, one of our very first dates when we got into the gardening thing, so it has a very special place in my heart. Here we have some more sedum, and this is a cypressy kind of plant, forgotten its name, and it should stay low to the ground and spread along here, but I quite like that structure and the interest that it provides there. In the back over here we have more dahlias. Really like that one of my faves. It's just elegant, I think. Here we have in the front 2 osteospermums. The white with the purple goes in nicely with the lavender behind it, and then we have the orangey purpley pinkies which blend in with the rest of the garden there. Towards the back we have our salvia, our purple salvia, which is hands down one of my favorite salvias. It has been in there for 2 seasons now. Cut it right back down to the ground and it just bursts with life again in the spring, summer, and I really like these 2 colors together. Some people aren't huge fans of reds and oranges in their garden, and I get that, but this rusty colored rose and that purple together really just pop, in my opinion. They go so well together. Here we have between the Gora. So obviously my garden in the front here is a cottage kind of, see a beautiful plant, find a space and pop it in kind of situation. So it does look chaotic and full, but I really like that. And also, how do you choose when you've got a small space, only a handful of plants? I know there is a calming factor to that kind of a garden, and I really do want and like that too, but there are different sections that I'm planning on doing that in my garden as well. So down here we have the electric daisy, a fun addition to the garden. It has just spread since we actually bought it, and here a firm favorite is the echinacea. Some of them are falling apart at the moment, but it reminds me of like a fairy's dress. I just love that structure of that. Beautiful, love. And again, the zinnia here that you can see in this section of the garden have self-seeded. Between here you can see another little petunia, and these colors blend in so perfectly with this dahlia next door and all the other soft colors around it. At the back there, we've got a weed, and we have a lily, a lovely yellow lily. Then moving on, here these are bachelor's buttons. They are purple, and we have agapanthus at the back here. Not everybody is a fan of agapanthus because they multiply and spread and can kind of take over an area, which I'm happy with in this section for now, that they do fill in this section, and I like the structure of the blooms, and then also just the calm greenery when they are not in flower. So I will monitor and pull out when it gets too much. Here we have our geraniums, our salmon pink geranium, and the Freylinia that we have pom-pom needs a little bit of attention to keep it tight, nice calm for the eye. And the pride and glory of my garden, the olive tree. She is looking gorgeous and has really enjoyed the rain. Did battle a little bit, but now has just filled out so nicely, and we will continue to limit up so that hopefully when we sit in our new garden chairs we don't get poked are the leaves, and that will come to an end shortly. But love it, love it, love it, love it. So this section, Mary's little grotto here, I seeded these zinnia here, and this is where I've been cutting from for inside the house, and that's been fun. My Gumfrena, however, is growing slower than normal, and I think that's possibly because the zinnia are in the way. Here we have our Australian tea tree. We have loved Australian tea trees since we first got married. We went to a friend's house for a bra, I think it was, and we saw it, and we just loved the delicate little flowers, I think, on it. So we have grown quite a few. Haven't always been successful with them in the garden, but this one is doing nicely. My rose, love this rose, apricot colour. Whole bunch of new blooms going to burst out there very, very soon. And then onto the veg patch. So I feel like my vegetable patch should have done more this season so far, but anyway, who knows, maybe with all the rain that we've had, it's put a bit of strain on. So starting here in this section, I have 4 butternuts growing, and they will be allowed to take over this area here. Last year I had back issues and I couldn't do much gardening, so my butternut were what got me through the season, and I landed up off 4 plants then, getting 35 different fruit. So hoping for similar. If you come in here, you will see we have the start of a beautiful thing. So cute. And there's a whole bunch of little growth going on there. So my potatoes failed, apparently from troubleshooting that, because they were in such a contained space and in direct sunlight, that wasn't such a great thing. So anyway, we will try again. Here, so then I had these peanuts, obviously because we've got the peanut shells in the pathways, we had these peanuts grow, and so I bagged these up here. So later on we'll see what's happened. They haven't done too much, but anyway. And then yesterday we figured out that my watermelon, not a watermelon, is actually a West Indian gherkin. So how cool are those? They look really spiky and sore, but they're not. They're actually very soft, and hopefully they will taste great. Be interesting to eat. Here we have these little bell pepper chilies. We use these and make a sweet chili tomato kind of thing, and these just flower profusely for us. They fruit almonds. I had turnips here. And just the other day I had zucchini planted in here. They had succumbed to powdery mildew, so we ripped those out. I only got a couple of fruit off those plants, but and not one yellow one, so I was very disappointed about that. Some more self-seeded zinnia and some nasturtiums. Over there we have yellow beans, and I cut those back recently and they have bounced back. Onions have growing, some more cucumbers. They need some water, believe it or not. So I'm really hoping that we get a few cucumber before the end of the season. The others didn't grow. Here, super exciting. Here we have a cosmos growing in between the structure, but let's see, because they're super tiny. This is a cucamelon. Yesterday they were on here. You could see the little fruit. Here we go. It's so tiny. So cucumber melons don't grow huge, they're about that big, and they apparently have a lemony cucumbery flavor. So I have wanted to grow one of these for ages, and Ronwyn from Ronnie's Green Patch gifted me this one. She actually gifted me two, one did not take, and this one seems to be looking nice and healthy. Oh, and there's a whole bunch of little flowers on there, so hopefully we'll get more than a handful there. My mint, I cut back yesterday so that it can have a nice lovely new flush. And here we have tomatillos. This one seems to have been stood on by the dog, so it's split in the middle, so I've just put some soil over the top. Hopefully it will root back in. But I did get one tomatillo off here yesterday. I think I might have harvested a bit too soon because it's still a bit tarty tasting, but that was fun. It grows in like a little, almost like the actually not almost, it does grow like this gooseberry does, in a little covering, in a little gut in a little case like this, and then you pop it open and inside is the tomatillo, or in this case the gooseberry. Look at that cute little gooseberry. And so here we have our gooseberry bush. I always find that I don't get to these in time. Anyway, if we're feeding the birds, that's all right too. We have beautiful bird life here, so we don't mind that. And here I have purple beans, and there is a grasshopper enjoying my leaves there. This, ooh, that was very tasty, lovely and juicy. This is a pepino melon. Oh, looks like we've got some growth going on there. Two little melons starting over there, so that's exciting. It's always so exciting when you see these new little treasures in your garden. This section needs to get some lettuce in because it's got sun now, but later on, not too long into the morning, it is shaded over, which is perfect for the heat of the day. Lettuce don't like too much sun. Here is my other Sally Holmes rose. I had every intention of putting it up on the wall. Let's just say the rain prevented me from doing that. Let's use that as an excuse. Also, the leaves look healthy, but I'm not getting the flowers that I want. So who knows? I removed my gem squash from here, also succumbed to powdery mildew. Here we have another dahlia, nice pop of color, and we have a pepper bush growing there. Here is a hot mess of a lovely ground cover with little purple flowers on and some weeds, so I need to get in there and sort that out. Chives! Dun dun dun! Took me ages to get chives going, but I didn't give up, and now I've got this beautiful trough of chives that I just cut back in the winter, and I've had beautiful chives for my salads. Here I yesterday cleaned this bed out with, it had green beans, yellow beans, and there is just one bush left of purple beans. They were done, so I will reseed some more beans for the end of the season, but I think I'm going to contain them to one bed. Lovely pepper grown here, and some more spring onions, so there's two actually on there, so that's super cool. And the cucumbers that were growing up here did nothing for me. I think I got two little pickling cucumbers off, so cucumbers. Ugh. Here, a beautiful cosmos. Actually, look at that. Rob's favorite plant, or favorite flower, the cosmos. And here, some wild rocket, which has been the base of some of my salads recently. Love it. And this little teepee has been amazing for me all season. It's been one of my favorite things. It has two different types of beans. I have runner beans up here, and then I think it's called like a rattlesnake bean, so it gives you those very long beans. I harvested a whole bunch yesterday, so there's none to show you, but that has been a super fun one to grow. Love that, and we'll do that again next season. And yeah, this bed so far, I suppose, has been the winner of our summer garden. Eggplants giving us at least 3 big ones every week, if not more. So we have 3 bushes in here, and it's just, we can't keep up. So we've been making lots of papa ganoush, and we're going to try 1 or 2 other fun recipes, roasting them and a few other things. Also chop them up in stews, but with the heat of summer, stews aren't happening too much. So we will keep going. But baba ganoush, good recipes, a firm favorite of the family all of a sudden. And then over here, this has been repurposed. I did have a hibiscus here, which we have rehomed to our top garden, and Trin and I decided that we wanted this to become a hydrangea wall or hedge. So this pink one over here I got again for Christmas and my birthday. This one was one that I slipped myself. It starts off this beautiful creamy greeny color, and then goes like pinky and ends off this pinky mottled color. And then this one is a new addition and will be blue. So we have put lots of acidic amendments and acidic compost in here so that it will stay blue. So that's going to be our hydrangea hedge, and we might continue it down further and rehome Sally Holmes. So here our little hedge is starting to grow. I think I need to get another one in there, and then we have our containers of, I think they're called Russian daisies, and they look gorgeous. And of course we have our beautiful bags, which are going to go in the compost heap. After a long day yesterday in the garden, and it was warm, life happens, it's real, much to Rob's disgust, but I was
proudest
tired.
Moments.
And so those need to go on the compost heap round the back. And that is a tour of the front garden at the end of January. Looking forward to actually sowing some autumn winter seeds. Actually realized that cauliflower, broccoli, Rob likes Brussels sprouts, all those kinds of vegetables are actually the vegetables that we really enjoy eating a lot. So really looking forward to this season. Kale, and obviously the lettuces, which enjoy the cooler weather. So yeah, so I'm keen and excited for autumn, and hopefully for Feb having a bit more sun and a little bit less rain. So that was just a little tour of the garden as it is at the moment. Nothing's perfect, but it does bring me happiness and joy, even if I haven't managed to get the vegetables out of it that I wanted to. I did get lots of green beans and yellow beans and purple beans, and I have actually processed that, and they are in my deep freeze. So I think it's been successful so far, and butternuts still to come, and it's not over yet, so we will keep going. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the front of my garden with me. Do follow along and subscribe, and hopefully we can continue learning and having some fun together. Thank you for spending time with me. Until next week. Bye.